Hi, my name is Florian Edukashi, and today I'll be discussing about the basics of JavaScript, a program which is usually used by programmers in writing programs which brings up pop-ups and also for a whole lot of things actually. Let me just share my screen so that we get started. Okay, share. All right, so JavaScript um, was originally developed by a man called Brendan Ike at Netscape under the name Mocha. He later renamed it LiveScript and finally renamed it JavaScript. It's mostly used in web pages on the client side, that is in our web browsers. Despite its name, JavaScript has very little in common with the Java programming language. They just have some syntaxes which are similar, such as names, date, math, and strings. Okay, a string is just a text. Okay, in order for one to start JavaScript, he has to have a basic knowledge of HTML5, that is hypertext markup language. Currently, we have the 5 being the newest version. One who wants to also learn JavaScript can have a good resource at w3schools.com and make some references at developer.mozilla.org. In order for you want to start coding in JavaScript, you need to have a text editor. Okay, if you are using a Windows computer, you can download the Notepad++. Just go to Google and type in Notepad++, free download. Or you can use a text wrangler if you are using a Mac computer, that's an Apple computer. Now in JavaScript, a comment is a note or documentation that a programmer writes for himself or other programmers that will look at this code. Sometimes it's used to remind you of what that code is doing. Okay, and there are actually two types of comments in JavaScript. We have single line and multi-line. A single line comment begins with 2 forward slashes and ends with a text. A multi-line comment begins with a forward slash, an asterisk, and ends with an asterisk and a forward slash. And in JavaScript, a statement is simply a complete command within a program. So whatever command that you code in JavaScript is called a statement. We usually end it with a semicolon. Now, when writing a programmer will often use curly brackets, okay, to surround the statement. Now, this will tell the function which we would look at that we should carry out whatever is in that curly bracket. Now, let's switch over to a program that I just wrote. Okay, now this program is actually to help one read a scripture with his or her name in it. All that the user have to do is to type in his or her name or a name, then scripture verse is created, then the result will be the scripture with the person's name or the name that was placed in it. Now let's go back to HTML so that you would understand much better. Now this right here is called a document declaration statement, and it helps one know that this whole file is in HTML5. Now this is the opening tag. As you can see when I highlight it, the closing tag also highlights. Okay. When I highlight the head tag, the closing tag highlights. Now the title is for another programmer or any person who would read this code to know what the code is about or what the program would do. And this is the function. And the function helps The function help us put the input, the processing, and the output together so that it will come out. Okay, so in order for us to start coding, we need to declare our variable. As we saw earlier, name is one of the syntaxes, and to declare a variable, we use var. So here, let me just quickly type. This is the input. Now you need to use two bars to show that it's a comment. Okay, otherwise the program wouldn't function. Okay, so this right here, as you can see from the comment, tells the user to put in his name. Okay, and this is the processing. So we declared our variable scripture. Now this will help us get the desired result. So if someone puts in his name, the scripture will come out as it's written here with the person's name. So let's try and see how it works out. So let's go back to my desktop. Okay, Comm. Okay, so I've already saved it. It's here. So let's say we should type Florian. And I click, as you can see, I, Florian, haven't been born of goodly parents. Therefore, I'll stop somewhat in all the learning of my father. So this is how it works. The JavaScript is a very, very useful program, and you would love it. It's a great tool. It's easier to learn, and I do hope that you've enjoyed this presentation and you would love using JavaScript one day.